My name is James, and I'm a full-time video editor, a semi-retired audio engineer, and a content creator. And today I want to walk you through how I transformed my desk setup, which used to look like this. I've actually been using a cheap and flimsy mobile laptop cart as my main desk because it's small enough that the sound coming from my studio monitors won't bounce off the desk and hit my ears. It made sense when I was doing a lot of audio mixing and mastering, but since nowadays I'm doing mostly video editing, it's finally time for me to get a proper desk. My new desk is the E7 standing desk from FlexiSpot, and I chose it for the specific reason that it can go as low as 23.8 inches with a tabletop, so that I can sit with my feet on the floor without a footrest. There aren't many desks that can go this low for less than 500 Canadian dollars and has easy shipping to Canada. I used a footrest with my old setup, but I hated it because it restricted my feet to a small area and a chair base would always hit them. FlexiSpot was also kind enough to send me this absolutely stunning 12 by 47 inches bamboo tabletop, which instantly brightens up the mood of my workspace and is a nice contrast to my dark walnut studio side rack. The assembly is straightforward enough, but it was still a lot of manual labor and it left my back sore for a few days. The frame is just so heavy. But that's also the reason why the desk is ridiculously solid and stable. Even on my carpeted floor, it barely budges at standing height. Getting a standing desk has really made positive improvements for my workday. The sit and stand presets on the controller makes it really easy to switch between sitting and standing periodically throughout the day. Doing that really helps me stay productive and feel creative for longer. I feel like I just have more juice to do stuff at the end of the day, which I really appreciate. With my feet on the floor, I also get so much more freedom for my lower legs. I can just reposition them throughout the day as I need. It's great. The computer that I run my entire production business on is the M1 Max MacBook Pro. With a 4TB SSD and 64GB of RAM. I absolutely love this computer. I think Apple Silicon really propelled Macs to be the best computers you can buy for multimedia production. It handles all my mixing and mastering, video production, and motion graphics design like an absolute beast. I've tested M2 and M3 series Macs and I haven't found a need to upgrade mine just yet. It's just insane how well this first generation Apple Silicon Mac holds up after 3 years. I'll definitely be testing the M4 Macs extensively once they come out, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Next to my Mac is the CalDigit TS4. It's a fantastic Thunderbolt 4 docking station, and it's what all my peripherals on the desk are plugged into. This is what I had always used in my previous setup, and I was always running out of ports. CalDigit was kind enough to send me the TS4, and it has truly made my life so much easier. Not only does it have a ton of ports, but it also charges my Mac at 98 watts. The fact that I only need to plug one single cable into my Mac and have everything I need connected is so convenient because whenever I need to take my MacBook Pro to go, I don't have to unplug multiple things and then replug them one by one when I come back. I also really appreciate the ports at the front because I can easily slot in my SD card and plug in my portable SSD. I keep my TS4 standing up, but it does come with 2 rubber strips so you can put it on its side too. If you use a MacBook Pro or a MacBook with limited ports and you need to connect a lot of things to your Mac, the TS4 is really great for keeping all your connections centralized and simplified. I have the Atom A5X as my studio speakers for mixing and mastering music. I've been using them since 2016, which is almost my entire audio engineering career, as I started a year before that. They're not exactly super high-end, and I've seen amateur engineers with way more expensive monitors, but my clients have always been satisfied with the mixes and masters I gave them, so I haven't really found a need to upgrade them. If you're curious about things I've learned paying bills with exclusively online mixing and mastering services, I have a video for that and I'll put a link in the description in case you're interested. The speakers are connected to my RME Babyface Pro. It's a high-end audio interface that offers quality signal conversions, which is great for audio mixing and mastering work. It also lets me record high-quality audio with my V7 dynamic microphone by SC Electronics. My main display is the BenQ EW2780U. It's a pretty low-end 4K monitor that I use for everything that doesn't require color accuracy. For anything that does, like photo editing and color grading for videos, I use my MacBook Pro's built-in display because it's factory calibrated with very accurate color reproduction, and I can choose among different reference modes. I know it's not the same as the super high-end reference monitors, but I'm not exactly making Hollywood movies either. Down here is a 4K portable monitor from MagicRaven. It's literally just here for any time when I need to reference something frequently. I edit scripted content a lot at the production studio I work at, so I would often have the script down here as I edit videos. It's also where I would put the mixer when I'm mixing, and all the meters when I'm mastering. It's really cheap but super useful. The wallpaper is part of a collection designed by myself, and I'll leave a link in the description in case you want to support the channel. The BenQ monitor is mounted on a gas spring monitor arm by Huanul that I bought on Amazon, and the portable monitor is on an arm by Vivo. Both arms are attached to the main pole, also by Huanul, that's installed on the desk via a clamp-on mount. This is such an upgrade from my TV stand setup because with that, I couldn't adjust the monitor height easily, and repositioning the monitors require a lot of effort. My keyboard is the Keychron Q12 Max. It's a Southpaw keyboard where the numpad is on the left. I'm not actually a lefty, but this Southpaw layout allows me to have a full numpad to use for shortcuts and macros while keeping my mouse close to my torso for good ergonomics. I particularly love the knob because it allows me to easily rotate, scale, and reposition clips while editing videos in Final Cut Pro. It also allows me to control the knobs in audio plugins as if they were real knobs while mixing music. Behind the keyboard is the resin palm rest by Keychron as well. It's tailored to the dimensions of the Q12 Max, and I like how it adds a bit of contrast to the keyboard and the desk mat. My mouse is the EM01 thumb trackball by ProtoArc. I switched from a traditional mouse to a trackball 9 months ago, and I've found it to be a lot better for my wrist. Right next to my trackball is the Stream Deck Classic with 15 buttons. I chose it over the Mark II because I wanted the ability to adjust the angle. The Stream Deck has made a huge difference in improving my workflows, especially for video editing. I can add frequently used titles, effects, and transitions in Final Cut Pro with just one single push of a button. It's almost like an extension of my brain, and I can't imagine editing videos without it. Underneath all that is a minimalist felt desk mat by Delta Hub, and at the corner of my desk is the Ulanzi Smart Pixel Clock. It was actually a birthday gift from my beloved wife, and I use it to display my YouTube subscriber count when I'm filming videos, but during the day I use it to display the time or the date. This is the Belkin 2-in-1 charging dock. It's what I use to charge my iPhone, Apple Watch Series 10, and my AirPods. It feels really premium, and I like that you can adjust the angle of the mount. Hidden behind my Mac are two Western Digital MyBook external hard drives. One of them is for Time Machine and the other is for archiving finished audio and video projects so they don't take up so much space on my Mac's internal SSD. On top of the BenQ monitor, I have a light bar by Quintus. I really like having my desk illuminated while I work, and I find that the light bar helps with eye strain, especially at night. Also on top of the monitor is a continuity camera MagSafe mount by Stealthy. It lets me attach my iPhone to it easily and use it as a webcam for virtual meetings. When it comes to cable management, I did not have any in the previous setup. You can see that cables were just everywhere. This time, I tried my best to hide the cables, but because I just have so many cables, it's hard to hide them all. I've got a cable management tray by FlexiSpot here, where I keep the power bars, and I have several cables hidden inside the Huanul monitor arm and the pole mount. A few others fed through the cable clips on the Vivo monitor arm, which helped quite a bit. It looks absolutely bonkers from behind and you can still see a bit of the mess while sitting. But I did the best I can and I guess I'll have to see if I can find better ways to hide them down the road. Last but not least, the chair I've been using is the highly research-backed Anthros ergonomic chair. I just did a super in-depth review of the chair comparing it to the Herman Miller Aeron and the Steelcase Leap chairs, so I'm not gonna get into the details here. But it's a great chair for sitting with correct postures for long hours, perfect for video editors and audio engineers like myself, or anyone who sits a lot really. You can adjust the pelvic support and the upper back support independently of each other to create a back support that is perfectly tailored to your spine. The seat is also incredibly comfy and packed with technology. If you've made it this far, know that I really appreciate you and I hope seeing how I did my first desk makeover will give you some ideas on improving your own. Check out the description below for links to all the products and let me know in the comments if you have any questions about my setup. This makeover has really made a positive impact on how I feel when I'm at the desk producing content, and I'm curious to see how I will improve upon it over time. Stay creative, and I'll see you next time.